Hey yo, what up? What up, though? Alright, so I had this dream. I've been having like crazy dreams this past week. Like since my boyfriend has left, my dreams have been going crazy. So vivid, so crazy. I've been like, yo, these scenarios have been wild. But, I'm not going to tell you every single one, but I'm going to tell you one right now. And one that happened, I think, last night or the night before was my mom, or sometime this week, was my mom had told me I look like a boy. That I dress like a boy because I've been dressing in a lot of sweats. I've been dressing in my boyfriend's sweats. They're cold. They're warm and it's cold. Like where I live, my neighborhood in New York has its own wind. So we always say, I remember in high school we used to joke that my neighborhood has its own wind. So and whenever you walk outside, especially right now, like I was walking outside just to go to the store. I had to go around the corner to my aunt's house to give her some wine that we got for Thanksgiving, and it was basically like it pushes you, like the wind literally pushes you and you have to walk on a slant. And so yeah, it's cold and I don't know, I just feel comfortable. And it's crazy because like how old am I? I'm 22. So my 12-year-old, my 9-year-old, my 9 to like 12-year-old self, or basically my elementary to maybe like 15-year-old self would basically be like looking at me in disgust, because it's like when I was growing up, I was like, girl, we don't need any of this. I'm like, no, when I was growing up, I was basically a fashionista. I would write like letters and documents every time we had a state test and they said you have to write something down. I would write down why we do not need uniforms, because they block self-expression in terms of fashion. And self-expression was so big to me because it's like in a world at a young age I was able to recognize that self-expression was taken away from us strictly through the way that we dress. We were made to dress and wear a uniform. And so because they told us you have to wear this, it's like I cannot express myself to my fellow students. In that same sense, I feel that I cannot express who I am, or that I feel like I cannot express who I am in the workplace. And that is one of my problems with the American dream, or just the workplace in general. I feel like I've always been groomed by my parents, by my father especially, just witnessing him and his dedication, his passionate dedication to to the work that he does and the company in which he works for. And so he calls it being passionate about what he does, but I call it being passionate about who you work for. Because I'm not going to lie, I ended up taking that on. When I was young, my dad used to work for Verizon up until I was about 20, or maybe I think up until I was 18 years old, he worked for Verizon. And so when at one point in time he had this promotion, or he was able to get a promotion or a raise by selling more Fios boxes and subscriptions. And so I went around trying to get everybody in the family, friends, anybody I know, sign up for Fios under my dad, blah blah blah. I was very much a native marketer, and I did get people to close the deal. And then you know what? I don't even know if my dad got a raise. I literally did this for no benefit other than I wanted to do this. That is being passionate about what you're doing before you understand the monetary value of the reward system, the monetary reward system that comes along with do this because you're passionate, and you'll get rewarded with money. But you'll also get rewarded with getting money by having to pay a bill for basic necessities. And honestly, I think this is just a rant, but we'll see where this goes. But I'm just like, why is it that we are often asked to give up like essential parts of ourselves to sustain and uphold a narrative of what we are supposed to be doing? I have been trying to juggle the entire 2021 with where I feel like I was supposed to be in life by now, versus where I am. I was not supposed to be in a pandemic, but I am supposed to be And I was not supposed to be living at my mother's house post-grad. A year post-grad, a month post-grad, anything post-grad. I was not supposed to be living in any of my parents' house. I am supposed to have a good relationship with my dad, not an on and off one. I am supposed to have money because I was raised with money. Because I was raised with other privileges and other class privileges that some of my peers were not raised with, I now am in a position to build my own wealth. I am supposed to have money to build my own wealth with, not be broke and working at a small business, a small food business in the food service with a college degree. I am not supposed to be working in the restaurant business, being yelled at by customers for $15 an hour because I have not been hired yet. 2 weeks, and still 2 weeks before I reach my year post-grad mark. I'm not supposed to be doing that. But life happens, often people say. They've said this to me all year round. They've said this to me throughout the entire pandemic. Life happens. But why does life happening have to be always in a negative term? I find that when I talk to people who experience a lot of negativity, they say life happens in terms of negative things. So, or in terms of things that are just robbing us of humanity, of our native humanity. But if I say something good is happening, life doesn't happen. That doesn't happen for free. Why can't happiness, why can't certain things come for free? Why do we like to negate the notion that our happiness should not be something that we must pay for, and should be something that we are just given because we deserve it, because we are beings on this earth, spiritual beings as well as human beings. And going back to self-expression, I know that even me coming to you with my twist hanging out my head like this and my hair all wrapped up because my hair spikes up and when it does not get enough moisture calling for attention, and I don't feel comfortable enough to go wet it again, or I just don't feel like it. I know that also, or I may just feel really, really confident, because most of the time if I tie my head wrap in a certain way and I look at me in the mirror and I say, girl, you look good. But I know when I go outside, a lot of people will not say I look good. A lot of people will say I look like I'm homeless, like I just rolled out of bed, because, which often my mother does describe me as. She actually does say this to me in real life. She says I look homeless because maybe my hair, maybe my hoodie, a lot of things that make me feel comfortable when I go outside, she often describes as makes me look homeless. And it's like, does it really make me look homeless to be comfortable? I guess so. But we should not have to give up existential parts of who we are just to survive in a society. You have to give up your self-expression. You may like colored hair, but So about a year ago, I was doing an interview, and I think it was about a year ago, maybe March this year, when this woman, when I had got up all done up, I had spent time in the bathroom trying to make my hair look nice, look palatable for people, and to make sure that if it was a white person on the call or even a black person with the person's mindset, I would not be harming myself or doing myself a disservice by letting them see me in a black version of myself, even though my authentic self, which they claim they want to see, is a black version. I have an afro most of the time. I have twist in most of the time. I have black skin, and I am passionate about black issues in real life and in the fabricated life that they would like me to present. Yet, I also know that it comes across as threatening. But that is self-expression. But that is a self-expression that I know I'm forced to hide, because if I do hide it, I just may get the job. And so I just ask the question to you and to society: why is it that we must give up an innate passion, a native part of ourselves, something that comes so easy? Why do we have to give up our self-expression just to be us? just to survive, to eat food, just to survive, to keep clothes on our back, to keep warm in cold weather, just to survive, to shelter ourselves. Why do we have to give up who we are to be? I have not told you who I am yet this entire video. My name is Quincy the QT. If you want to know about my main channel, go look me up. But I like this. I just had to get this off my chest. Yeah. I don't even know where that came from, but I know it's been festering for a little bit of a while. Do we want to keep going like this moving forward? And those people who are in it right now, do we want it to be like this going forward? I don't. What about you? Sound off in the comments. Peace. This video was filmed in November 2021, but it's still relevant to how I feel today, June 2022. So, if it resonates with you, let me know. Thanks for watching.